She answered my questions.
All right. Any further questions for this witness members? Hearing none, Dr. Katz, thank you for coming to testify today. You're excused. Chair's going to go to our in-person panel. I appreciate you patiently waiting for us. Chair calls Greg Cesar, Congressman. Kassar. I apologize.
Thank you, Chairman.
Let me pull up your registration 1 second.
Yes, sir.
I show you as Greg Kassar, Congressman, Texas 35, here to testify on behalf of yourself on revisions to the Congressional Redistricting Plan. Is that correct?
That's correct,
Please
sir.
give us your testimony, sir.
Chair, Vice Chair, Dean, Speaker, and members of the committee. I'm Greg Kassar. I currently represent Texas's 35th Congressional District, and I'm here to speak to support the hundreds of thousands of Texans that I represent and their voting rights, from urban to rural Texans, conservative, liberal Texans, from Bexar to Comal to Hays to Travis County. Texas's 35th Congressional District was drawn by this body coming after the 2010 census. It was constitutionally mandated to be drawn, and it was upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court and the conservative justices on that court as a promise to Latino communities in Central Texas to make sure they had meaningful participation and the ability to elect the representative of their choice under the Voting Rights Act. Whether they chose a Democratic or Republican or independent congressman should be up to them. But to fulfill the Voting Rights Act of 1965, this district was drawn and approved. And what I am here to ask is that we continue to preserve and protect those voting rights that so many people fought and marched and bled for, including Dr. King, where we have a street right behind this Capitol named after him, who in 1965 helped a Texas president sign the Voting Rights Act into law. And I ask each of you to focus on protecting those rights. There's no need to redraw these maps and to violate those rights, and to represent the values of Texas, and to represent that critical federal law, and not have somebody tell you from outside of the state, from Mar-a-Lago or from the White House, to violate those basic rights of all Texans. We should be focusing on rebuilding and relief for the people of the Texas Hill Country who have suffered from these floods, not on radical and ridiculous redistricting. Thank you so much, Chairman.
Thank you. Hey, we'll come back for questions. Chair recognizes or calls on Sylvia Garcia testify. I show you registered as Sylvia Garcia, testifying on behalf of yourself on revisions to the Congressional Redistricting Plan. Congresswoman, thank you for being here today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Please give us your testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and to the Vice Chair, and to Ms. T, and to all the other members. We really should not even be here today. We should be working on legislation to support families in the Hill Country after the devastating flooding, working together to provide resources for the families who lost everything, for new warning systems to prevent future tragedies, and doing what is best for the well-being and safety of all Texans. Instead, we are here today playing political games to appease the felon in the White House in his lust for power. We are pretending that the governor did not approve the very maps he's now insisting to be changed. This political theater will hurt communities in my district, and it's shameful. And we do so with not even a map. Where's the map? This is getting the cart before the horse. We're talking about impact when we haven't seen anything. We know the Republicans in Congress are widely unpopular. We've all seen the polls that show that the vast majority of Americans oppose Trump's big ugly bill. But here we are. So let me tell you just a little bit about District 29, which it's a targeted district on the Justice Department letter, which I'm honored to represent. Our shared values and culture far outnumber our differences. We're a community that values faith, family, hard work, and service. From Lindale to Aldine to Pasadena to Galena Park and Jacinto City, we are a community and we stick together. Ripping up the 29th district will silence the voice of these communities, and that will be a travesty. The population growth in Texas has been because of the Latino population. The Voting Rights Act protects districts like the 29th with common interest, priorities, and background. Given this, I urge you to reject this partisan gerrymandering of Texas, reject the map that may come soon from the felon in the White House, and do what Texans want. End this charade and support the families who are grieving, build up our infrastructure, enhance our resiliency, and do what matters. Let's stand up for Texas. With that, I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Chair calls Joaquin Castro. I show you registered as Joaquin Castro, testifying on behalf of yourself on revisions to the Congressional Redistricting Plan. Congressman, thank you for being here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Please give us your testimony.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. I'm proud to represent my hometown of San Antonio, Texas, the 20th Congressional District. And I was a freshman in 2003 when, as Democrats, we left the state for Ardmore, Oklahoma to stop mid-decade redistricting more than 20 years ago. It was wrong then, and it's wrong now. And you all are being used. You're being used by the White House and by Donald Trump. You're being used because he doesn't want Democrats to control a majority of the Congress so that there'll be no investigations. There has been no discussion in Congress about the floods that occurred in Kirk County and the loss of so many lives. There has been no discussion on the Epstein files, no discussions on the Iran leaks and all those messages by the Secretary of Defense and others. There literally is no accountability right now in Congress. And the people that are going to pay for this are the folks in black and brown communities in our cities. They're going to have their districts cracked and packed and unblacked because of this effort. That's what's at stake here. Whether you all are going to work for the people of Texas, as we used to do or try to do, or whether you're going to take your commandments from Donald Trump and the White House. I hope that y'all will choose to do the business of the people of Texas, as this body has a history of being independent from the federal government, not a stooge for it. I yield back.
Thank you for your testimony. Mr. Manuel, for what purpose? No purpose. Mr. Wu, for what purpose?